Hi there guys, welcome in another Line Code video. My name is Philip and in this lecture I'll be talking about arithmetic operations in JavaScript, and this is one of the video from JavaScript Fundamental series. Alright, so without any further waiting, as always, let's start with the programming. If you don't know how to create this file and how to prepare the environment, watch the first video of this lecture. Basically very simple HTML file where I'll be writing into the script code which will be executing in our browsers. Okay, so arithmetic operations. What arithmetic operations we can use in JavaScript? There is a lot of them. I will show you some of the basic ones. So let's define here two variables. Variable A, which will be value, okay, what value I want to show you, 10, and the value, second variable with a value of 2, and I will perform some operations on this value, some arithmetic operations on this value. So I will get here const variable sum, where I will assign the result of a plus b. Okay, so a plus b, and I will console log it out. Console log it out, and let's write here sum space comma and sum. So this should log me into my browser the sum of the a plus b. So to the sum variable we are assigning a plus b, which is a 10 plus 2. We'll get into sum variable, and in the console we are displaying sum string space and the sum variable value. Okay, so that's a value of 12. I'll go here, refresh, and the sum is 12. Okay, now I'll show you the more arithmetic operations, and you can guess what we'll get. So you can write with me. I will copy it over multiple times. Okay, so I'll copy this, copy paste it multiple times. I want to show you multiple operations. Okay, that should be enough. So that was the addition. Now I'll show you subtraction. So simply minus sign, a minus b. This will be subtraction. And we'll get here, of course, we need to call this variable differently because we cannot have here duplicates of the sum. Once it's already declared, we would get here error, so we'll call it sum2 and sum2. That sum2, it doesn't make much sense now, we are subtracting, but let's keep it as a sum2 so we don't need to adjust these names. Okay, then we have here a plus b, a minus b, 8 times b. Okay, multiplication, so right here multiplication. Okay, and it will call it sum3. And the console log is sum3. Then we get here, we'll be dividing, so a divided, so that's a slash like this. I'll call this sum4, and sum4 will display here. All right, then we have an operation called modulo, that's as a percent sign, like this. Percentage a, percentage b. That's not actually a percentage, but it's a modulo. You will see the result later. I'll call it sum5, and sum5 will display here. Actually, this should be divide, and here should be modulo. All right, then we have here two multiplication sign, which is a squared, so a squared on b. So this is square, and we'll get here sum 6. All right, so we are squaring a by the b, so sum 6. Okay, and then I will show you some solo operation just on the a and b. I guess I will check the paper here. Yes, so I will write here plus signs. That's for incrementation, and I will decrement b. This will be very interesting. Decrementation of b, I will call it sum7. Console log here sum7. I will call it incrementation and decrementation. And here we'll get a b. Okay, decrementation, incrementation, and yeah. That's some of the basic ones. And now I give you a small assignment. Actually, here should be sum8, and here sum8 will be here. These ones are very interesting ones. I suppose this can be confusing, so I'll write here comments. Okay, interesting ones. This will be maybe hard to guess for you what we'll get here, but let's at least guess these ones here, okay? So what we'll get in our console here when we'll add a plus b, a minus b, multiply, divide, modulo, and square root. Okay, so we'll get what we get here. Okay, so we'll get here, and we'll get here these values. Okay, we'll take a look, we'll check them out. But we are getting here also error on line 29, assignment to constant variable. So it's happening here on line 29. And that's interesting property of incrementation here. So we are getting here issue here. What incrementation will do, it will change also the value of, it will try to change the value of a itself. Okay, and since we have defined a as a constant, we cannot change the value of a. So what I will do, just for a purpose of example, I will mark it as a let, and the let, so we are able to change its values. Okay, now let's save it, and now we'll refresh, and we can talk about these values. Okay, so sum, yeah, it's a 10 plus 2, it's 12. Subtraction 10 minus 2 is 8. Multiplication 10 times 2 is 20, correct? Divided 10 divided by 2 is 5. Modulo 0, that's an interesting thing. Okay, so you can see modulo as the reminder after you divide the number. So here I will write you example. We are trying to divide, right? 10 divided by 2. Actually modulo, right? So percentage sign. So how many times the 2 will fit into the 10? How many times 2 will fit into the 10? 2 will fit into the 10 5 times, okay? So it will 5 times, and it will not give me any reminder, okay? Because 5 times 10, 5 times 2 is 10, there is no reminder. Okay, and reminder is in this case 0. That's why you are seeing here modulo is 0. When I would like to try to get here, let's write it here now, I will clear it out. I'll write here modulo 10, modulo, and a 3. I will get here a result of 1. You can see, here is 1. Because 3, we can fit into the 10 3 times, okay? So I can fit the 3 in the 10 3 times, so 3 plus 3 plus 3. And the 1 is a reminder to the 10. Okay, so I think I got a point right now, right? So if I will try to fit, I will write here 10 modulo, let's say 6. So 6 will fit into the 10 only one time, and the 4 is a reminder. Okay, so this is the result 4. So that's the modulo operator. That is left over after you will divide the number, and how many times also the number will fit into the number you are dividing with. Okay. Okay, so that's a modulo. Square, it's self-explanatory. Square will get here, I'll refresh this. Square will get here 100 because that's a, as you can see, imagine this as a 10 on 2. Okay, on the squared on the 2. Okay, squared of 2. So there's a 10 times 10. Okay, so 10 on the square of 2, it's this is 10 times 10, and this will get me 100. So 10 squared. Okay, that's a 10 squared. Okay, we get here 3. Okay, the b would be 3. This will get me 100 times 100 times 100, because this will be 3 squared. Okay, so I will get here 10 and 2, this will get me 100. On 3, this will get me 1000, because the 10 times 2, 10 times 10 times 10, so 3 times. If I will get here, let's say 5 on 5 squared, this will get me 25, because 5 times 5 is 25. But square of 3, this will get me 5 times 5 times 5. Okay, so it's going to be 125. Okay, I don't need to explain these basics. Okay, then we have these interesting ones. Incrementation and decrementation, which will get me 10 and 2. That's interesting. I'm getting here my original values into the sum 7 and sum 8. So I'm incrementing a, and I am assigning the result of this to the sum 7, but I'm getting exactly the same value. Because when you write these plus signs after the variable, first you will assign the value of the variable, and then you will increment it. So we are assigning the value of the a, which is a 10, to the sum 7. So then we will get here 10 into the sum 7, and that's what you are seeing here. The same with the decrementation. You are assigning first the value of the 2 into sum 8, and then you're displaying, and after this assigned, then after that you are decrementing the value. So when I will write here actually console log, you will see the original values are changed. Okay, so I'll write here A, and the sum, this will be actually A value, and here I'll get a B. All right, and this will be B value. So the value of 8 after incrementation should be 11, and a B after decrementation should be 1. You can see here, incrementation 11, and decrementation, okay, actually I have some issues here. I should call it B rather. B, like this. Okay, now it makes more sense. I will remove these console logs here, so there are no confusing us like this. I'll go here, clear it out, I will refresh, and you will see we are getting here A value is 11 and B is 1. So we are incrementing A, but first we are assigning the value of the A to some 7, and then we are incrementing the value itself of the A, which was 10, but plus plus means we are incrementing by 1. So we are getting here 11. And here we are assigning value of the B, and then we are decrementing, so this will get me value of the 1 for a B. If I would write here signs differently, I would write here first plus plus A and here minus minus B. This will first increment the value of the A, which is a 10, incremented by 1 will get me 11. And I will assign the 11 here to some 7, and same here. I will decrement the B, which will get me 1, and I will assign it to the some 8. So when I will console log here these values here. Okay, some 7 and some 8 like this. Okay, this should get me the numbers as you would expect. I will refresh, and here incrementation 11 and decrementation 1. So here the values are successfully assigned, and also my original value is changed. Okay, remember, decrementing A, assigning to the sum 7, you get me 11. So sum 7 is holding 11, and also A is holding 11. So when I will display here also A and B, they will also have the same values. Okay, so I guess that should be it. Simple arithmetic operations. You can find the code attached to the description of this video. I'll continue with some more basic topics of JavaScript in my next videos. Okay, that should be it, and I hope to see you around. Cheers.